So, Shannon, are the Nets clearly the best team in the East?
No, they're not clearly the best team. They clearly have the best players. They probably have two of the top 5 players, 6 players in the East. But for whatever reason, Skip, James Harden, we haven't seen that consistency level from James Harden that we're normally seen over the last decade. We know what he liked. When he first got there, Skip, he was in the MVP discussion. There was a stretch for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks. He was in the MVP discussion. He tweaked that hamstring. He was never quite the same player. And he says it has a lot to do with what he's doing right now because he wasn't able to train the way he needed to this offseason. So he came back a little out of it. Now, he's never going to be Adonis. So I don't think anybody think you're going to see James Harden have shoulders like Dwight Howard used to have and abbed up. That's not what he's going to be. But what he can do is that light you up. I've seen James Harden get 18 one night and come back and get 60 the next night. So we know what he's more than capable of doing, Skip. But I just think the thing with him being as inconsistent as he is currently, I just don't know if KD is enough to get them past, let's say, a Milwaukee at full strength. I think when it's all said and done, if Miami can stay healthy, because they're a different team when Jimmy Butler plays as opposed to when Jimmy Butler doesn't play. So you got Jimmy, you got Bam. Tyler Hero's been sensational off the bench. Kyle Lowry is exactly what they needed to be a floor leader. So, excuse me. So, Skip, I look at it, sure. Kevin Durant's one of the 2 best players. He and Giannis, take your pick. We'll debate that another day. But right now, Giannis is 27-12 and averaging 2 blocks and 5 assists. So for me, can they come out of the East? Yes. Is it going to be as easy as we thought? Because I think everybody was thinking Kyrie was going to be there. And I thought we saw when Kyrie missed some games last year, Skip, we saw how smooth it was. But James Harden was playing on a different level then than what he's playing right now. So are they the prohibitive favorites to come out of the East? No, I wouldn't say that, Skip. I would say if you make me pick one right now, I say Milwaukee has a better chance of coming out of the East than the Nets. Maybe even Miami, but that's it for me.
Interesting. After last night, the Brooklyn Nets have a 15-6 record, which is a game and a half better than anyone else in the Eastern Conference. So something good is happening there very quietly, almost in the shadows. And once again last night, which I cannot fathom, I can't make it compute in my brain, the Knicks fans took over Barclays Center last night, and it sounded like a Knicks home game. With Spike Lee front and center just taking over the night, dominating.
KD has
sharp in his pink last
KD
night.
has fans. James Harden have fans.
Yep.
Not the Nets.
KD
and Harden.
Fans. Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just wide open. It's
Everybody
for the
takes
taking.
over.
Whoever comes, you just take it over. Who was it the other day?
It was Steph. Remember
Steph, Golden
MVP?
State, they just took over the night, right? The Lakers go there, they'll just take it over. Okay, so what did I see last night on display? I saw the guy I believe is now the MVP of this league because he is still the best player on this planet. Kevin Durant played 40 more minutes because he's got to play high minutes because they just don't have much.
Whoa. Why? Hold on.
Interesting.
I remember a guy that used to play major minutes, and you said he can't be playing those minutes. These little meaningless games. So why is he playing for almost 41 minutes?
Well, this wasn't a meaningless game. This is your arch rival.
They ain't no arch rival.
Yes, they are.
They just have to Skip. Stop.
Knicks got some firepower. They're dangerous. You don't want them to come in and embarrass you, right?
Really?
On their home away from home game.
21 games into the season?
So what does Kevin Durant do? He goes 27 points. Most of them came late with 9 assists, which was a game-high 9 assists. And I look at what he's doing. He is leading the league in scoring at 29 a game with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. He's shooting a career-high 54% from the floor. He's 39% from 3, 86% from the free throw line. All numbers way out of LeBron's league.
So what did he do last night from the three-point line? He had 27 points, but how many shots did it take him to get that?
He didn't make one. But what happened over the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds
He
of
was
the game?
KD.
He scored 11 points in the last 5:45. And the pivotal moment in the game happened with 27 seconds left. And if we could see this is my pet peeve about LeBron James. And KD just said, well, I'll just do this. He could have pulled up. He could have jacked it up. But the game's tied at that point. And he just says, I'm going to take it to the rack. I'm going to get fouled. Oh, he got fouled all over the place. He got hit low and high on the hands. Okay. And what does he do? You see what he did. He dropped them both. So he made his 2 free throws, clutch free throws under pressure. And all too often, it's my pettest peeve about LeBron James. He just, in a situation like that, I'll pull up.
This ain't about LeBron. This is about KD.
It's about LeBron versus KD.
How?
And how many times have we seen LeBron just pull up jack up some like logo 3 to take the pressure off because he's saying, well, I know my blind witnesses out there will give me a pass if I miss this shot because it's a high degree of difficulty. Well, then why don't you just drive it? You're still the best driver of the basketball ever, to me. Drive it, get fouled, go to the free throw line, and make the 2 free throws. Well, he's saying, I don't trust myself at the free throw line. Maybe he should shoot him blindfolded. But the point is,
that's not what he's saying.
He doesn't trust himself, so he'll just shoot the logo type 3, where if it goes in, I look like a hero. If it doesn't, I got to pass.
No,
right?
That's not what he's doing, Skip. But we do realize that as we start to get older, you don't have the same drive. You can't get to the basket with the relative ease as you once could. We saw Michael, we saw Kobe. Later, go to the pull-up, go to the fadeaway. Why? Those were 2 still great drivers of the basketball, but they developed that shot because as they started to age, they realized they could not get to the basket with the same ease. Why can't LeBron be like that? Why is it, LeBron, you got to keep driving the basketball when 2 other great drivers also stopped driving the basketball?
I don't think Jordan stopped driving. I agree he reinvented himself with that mid-range fade.
Okay, LeBron reinvented himself with the 3.
With the logo 3s.
It ain't something, you make it seem like all of them logos. They're not.
He is a career 34.5% three-point shooter, and he's right at that for this year right now.
He's going to shoot 37%.
He's on pace. He's averaging 8.5 a game, which is like 2 more than he's ever attempted.
Well, he can shoot 8.5 as long as we make 3.5.
Well, is he?
Yeah.
Because he won't.
He will.
Okay, so he's going to up from 34.5 to what?
37.
40?
37.
37?
Yeah.
He's going to have to go on another Indy-type hot streak.
And he's very...
He'll have a hot streak here or there, and then he'll fall back in love with it, and he'll go 2 for 13 the next game. It's like clockwork.
We're gonna go on a streak, and what you were talking about, we're going to have like 4 games where we make like 3 or 4 of them in a row, and we shoot like 40% for those games and be right back in it. But look, KD did not... I mean, he missed some shots last night. He missed a couple of shots, a few, like 6 or 7.
No, he didn't have a great shooting night.
I was like, damn, KD missed that one? KD missed that one? KD missed that one?
Then he scored 11 in the last 5 minutes, okay?
But he's a great player.
He is a great player. He is the best player. So the point is, he needs some help. And last night, for the first time in a long time, maybe all year, he actually got some help from James Harden.
He got in the first half, though.
He did.
In the second half,
But James wound up with 34, and he wound up with 10 rebounds and 8 assists, which that'll all work. And he got to the free throw line 10 times and made 9 of them, which he will do.
Right.
I'd like to see him shoot 15 free throws, but we know he's not getting the calls because they've changed the way they call the game.
Well, the thing is, Skip, he had 34 points. He had 28 at half. So basically, in the second half, he didn't do much in the terms of scoring.
Yep.
And Kevin Durant and the Knicks was dilly-dallying around and bull jiving and messing around and let the Nets stay close, and the next thing you know, a close ball game, and the other team has KD. Well, you're asking for trouble. You better put the game out of reach so KD can't have an impact on it. Because if you allow him to put his thumbprint on the game, he's going to leave it.
Yep.
And that's what happened. You let him get close, and he left his thumbprint on the game.
He did. So what do I see in James Harden? He reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson in that AI just refused no weight room. There's no cardio going on. I'm not going to sit on a bicycle and try to improve my cardio. I will play my way into shape. I won't practice my way into shape. I'll play my way into shape because I play basketball. I don't need a nutritionist. I don't need a personal trainer. I play basketball.
Right.
And it'll work for X number of years.
Yeah, when you're younger.
It will. And then once you start to approach 30, it'll start to get you. And once AI got to Denver, it started to get him because he started looking a little bit heavy. Well, James came in this year, and he looked a lot heavy to me. But slowly but surely, if you'll let him keep playing, what did he play almost, 40 minutes. He played 40 minutes.
The thing is, though, Skip, when you're like this and you're not in shape and you play these kind of minutes, you set yourself up for a soft tissue injury, hamstring,
You do.
a groin,
I
or
don't
calf.
disagree. But is he a weight room? No, he's
No,
not a
no,
weight
no,
room
no,
guy.
no, no, no,
Does
no.
he have a nutritionist? I don't know, but I'm going to doubt it.
Right.
Because you can just look at somebody, whether they have a nutritionist.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with these guys. I mean, as you start to age, Skip, your body should. When I was young, I ate fast food. Skip, my first 3 years, I ate every single meal fast food.
Got it.
Those strips from Burger King. I got the French toast sticks. I'd eat McDonald's. I eat Wendy's, and then I come home and grab something. I grab Dairy Queen or whatever on the way home.
I got it.
And then after a while, like, why am I doing? I'm a professional athlete. I'm eating like this. No, that ain't how a professional athlete's supposed
But
to
you
eat.
can get away with it for 3 years.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know, I was 22, still ripped up. And everybody looking at me like, bro, you eat like that and look like that? I'm like, yeah. So I just changed but as you start to get to your 30s and think you can eat and dilly-dally around with the training, it'll go downhill real quick for you.
In the end, you are what you eat.
You are.
In the end, that's who you are, is what you put in your mouth.
Yep.
So James is probably not eating very well, but he's playing high minutes. And last night was the first night I looked at him and I said, he looks pretty good. Like he looked, dare I say, svelte. You know, he started to look like a basketball player. He didn't have his little paunch that he carries.
Skip, James Harden in Houston. He gets 28 in the first half, he's going for 50.
Yeah.
He's going for 60.
Yep.
And that.
I don't disagree.
But I'm not so sure that he has the kind of energy to exert himself like he would need to go get that other 28 to match the 28 he got in the first half.
Yep.
So good thing KD was on his best behavior the last 5-6 minutes of the ball game. Or they're losing this game. Because I don't believe James could recapture it because Skip in the second half, he only had 6 points. So I'm not so sure he would have been able to recapture what he needed to take, what he needed to get, had KD not been able to do what he did over the last 5 minutes.
And I do not disagree. I'm going to knock on wood as I say it with your point about you have to be careful at this age. If you don't stretch, if you don't hit the weights, if you don't keep your TB12 method going, how's Brady do it?
Yeah.
Well, he's got Alex Guerrero living with him, basically, to keep his body right at 44.
But you got to drink a lot of water. You got to eat right because you play at Skip. That's 40 minutes. That's 40 minutes, 20 games into the season.
Yep. Well, both of them played 40 minutes because it's kind of all they have right now.
Right. Are you concerned about those minutes because that's all they have? Blake Griffin's falling out of the rotation.
Well, he's completely out of the rotation. I mean, that's a shock to me. He was DNP last night.
Coach's decision. I've seen a lot of those when I get the sheet.
Because LaMarcus Aldridge took his place.
Why he took his place?
I don't know.
I don't.
I like LaMarcus, but I think I like
LaMarcus playing better than Blake. Skip Blake was giving you nothing.
Boy, remember against Milwaukee last year, Blake would have some shooting nights where he just shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
And I just love how hard he played against Giannis. Maybe they're just saving him, conserving
They're not saving him.
You don't think so?
They're not saving him, and they got to play their two guys 40. KD played 41 minutes, and Harden played 40. They're not saving him.
LaMarcus played
32 minutes
and gave you 8 and 4. Okay, wow.
Blake was playing that, wouldn't give you nothing.
He will defend. He'll fight you.
But LaMarcus can space the floor.
No, he can. He's got the little mid-range.
Yeah, he can. And he's a big body inside, Skip. He protect the paint.
I just have to believe that Kyrie Irving will sort of come to his senses at some point. He just will, and he'll come back. After Christmas, he'll come back.
He ain't coming back, Skip. Man, you know Kyrie, he on that perch. he done stuck his flag.
He is proud.
He done planted his flag on that one.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.